republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, well, here we are. All right, item number 1.
I'll make a motion to correct the minutes from November 13th regarding Madison Severcool. It would be on the second page of minutes, the second motion from the bottom. And it says to ratify and approve the termination of Madison. Madison was an intern, I believe. Is that correct? And that was just the end of her internship there. So it's just with regret. I don't know, her leaving us. It's not a termination.
Right.
So I guess I'm just going to say ratify and approve her resignation.
Her resignation with regret.
Effective, whatever, with regret. And with that being said, that's the only change, big change.
Okay, so we have a motion by Commissioner Warner,
I'll second that motion with that correction.
and thank you for stepping in a few minutes late. Makes me feel better that I'm not the only person that does that. So
Oh, well,
thank you.
I didn't look at the clock. I went looking for you, actually.
Well, I'll teach you.
Right here.
Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Item number 2.
I make a motion to approve item number 2 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold to approve item 2 on the agenda, approve the cash disbursements and electronic payments. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Item number 3.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 3 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, approve item 3 on the agenda to ratify and approve the following requests for payments as so stated or seminar requests. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Item number 4.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 4 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, approve item 4 on the agenda to ratify and approve the hiring of David Moonquist Gibson to the open full-time union eligible position of telecommunicator 1. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried.
Is it a new employee or is that a promotion?
What's
Is
that?
that a new employee or is it a
New
promotion?
employee.
New employee.
Yeah. Item number 5.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 5 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, approve item 5 on the agenda to enter into a purchase service agreement with Preventative Aftercare Incorporated out of Grove City, PA for child welfare services for children and youth. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Item number 6.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 6 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, approve item 6 on the agenda to approve the Susquehanna Housing and Redevelopment Authority Resolution 2019-16 authorizing Section 504 officer and process for grievance stating that no otherwise qualified individual with a disability shall solely or reason of his or her disability be excluded from participating in, be deemed the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. Good thing we have lawyers to come up with that language. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 7.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 7 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, to approve item 7 on the agenda to approve entering into contract number 4400016314 with Capital Area Communications, Harrisburg, PA for 911 Nokia microwave radio links in the amount of $187,781.04 and planned maintenance in the amount of $12,144.12 for 911 communications per the recommendations of Bruce Butler, Department of Public Safety. Questions or comments? That takes us from the 15th century to the current century and gives us a licensed microwave site for our 911 center, which we've never had. So that's a big, important thing. And that is getting paid for out of 911 funding. So that's a good deal. All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Item number 8.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 8 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, approve item 8 on the agenda to appoint the following to the Susquehanna County Conservation Board of Directors: Robert Fernley of Montrose as a farmer director, expiring December 31st, 2023, and Jim Kessler of Halsted as the farmer director, also expiring in 2023. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
And Jim is a returning, and I think Robert's a new one.
Yes.
Okay, item number 9.
Make a motion to approve item number 9 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold to approve item 9 on the agenda, accept with regret the resignation of William Burke, Susquehanna County Conservation District Board, effective November 22nd, 2019. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
And I think that was all for personal reasons. Item number 10.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 10 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold to approve item 10, to approve the appointment of Douglas Wood Jr., Susquehanna, as Public Director to the Susquehanna County Conservation District, effective November 27th, 2019. Am I reading something wrong?
No, I'm just looking at you.
Oh, okay. To fill the open position through the expiration of the term December 31st, 2020. So he's filling the position of William Burke. Questions or comments? Yes.
I thought,
That was your first mistake.
yeah, that's true. I thought Doug was supposed to take a farmer position.
It's not open. It's not. Bill,
Bill,
somehow it got messed up along the way, and Bill was actually appointed as a public director, so he needs to fill that spot, because there is no.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Item 11.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 11 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Warren, seconded by Commissioner Allen to reappoint Nancy Harbertine and Robert Housel and Lauren Salzman to the Susquehanna County Planning Commission, effective January 1st, 2020 through December 21st, 2023, per the recommendation of Robert Templeton, Planning Director. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 12.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 12 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, approve item 12 on the agenda, ratify and accept the entering into an agreement 19098 R1 with Automated Lifestyles LLC out of Moscow, PA for lighting, audio, and video control in the large courtroom in the amount of $77,822.84, paid with Act 13 funds per the recommendation of President Judge Jason Light. Questions or comments?
What's new about that?
It's new everything's new. It's new speakers, new sound system. We're actually, if you want, I'll take you up after, we're doing a lot of renovations in the courtroom.
Okay. And when will it all be?
Our goal is to have it back open for a jury trial in January, so, or that, or I'm going on vacation, get away from the judge. All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Item 13.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 13 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold to approve item 13 on the agenda to enter into a maintenance agreement with Guided Communications out of Plymouth, PA for the maintenance on our telephone system at $678 per month. Questions or comments?
I have a question for the deputy chief clerk. Was it said yesterday that they would do December for the 425? Okay, that needs
December
to,
will be the old.
okay, so that needs to be reflected in here because it won't match up with the audit.
Right.
Okay.
So December 425 and going to 678 in January 2020.
465?
425
425.
for December.
You were paying $425 a month and it's going up to $678.
78.
Why such a big jump?
Because of the amount of service calls they make and everything else.
And the warranties.
And the warranty on everything. So it includes the warranty. Something goes bad, they replace it. Are you okay with that change?
I am, yes.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Public comment. Barbara, you wanna?
Hello, I'm Barbara Durkin. I'm the director for the Drug and Alcohol Program here in Susquehanna County.
Find out.
And I am here to present a plaque to Commissioner Marianne Warren for all her years of service, not only for the Drug and Alcohol Office, but the Behavioral Health Office. Marianne Colbert, who is the Behavioral Health Director for the county, wanted to be here today, but she had a conflict. So Commissioner Warren, you've been instrumental in so many things in the field of behavioral health within the county, in terms of ensuring that residents of the county have access to not only substance use disorder services, but behavioral health services. I could start with the suicide initiative that you were instrumental in starting within the county, as well as the substance use recovery initiative. You know, speaking most importantly, you've been really, really instrumental in the creation of the Treehab Resource Center that has been up and running here in the county for over a year. And we had a advisory board meeting for that yesterday, and it's really, really going well and being utilized by so many residents. So on behalf of my office and the individuals that we serve in the county, thank you so much for all the work that you've done. I know we are all incredibly saddened that you won't be continuing with us, but I'm really, really glad to see that you'll still be participating in the field moving forward. So we have just a little plaque for you. It's a community service award presented by the Lackawanna Susquehanna Office of Drug and Alcohol Programs to Commissioner Marianne Warren, honoring your years of committed service and dedication to the constituents of Susquehanna County. And there is a quote on here that says, "Leadership is liberating people to do what is required of them in the most effective and humane way possible." So that really exemplifies who you are. So thank you so much.
Very well deserved.
Wanted it to be a surprise.
Yes.
I guess it will.
Turn the plaque around a little
Oh, I'm
bit.
sorry.
There we go.
Is the tea bottle in the way, or do you need to move it? Get
Oh, yeah.
Here, Marianne, make it straight, make it straight.
Okay, then. Oh,
Thank you.
thank you.
Congratulations.
Oh my gosh.
Good job. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you.
Thanks.
To go along with that, of course, there was just a CCAP conference that both Elizabeth and I attended and the Commissioner-elect attended. But also, I bring back a certificate of appreciation from CCAP for your many years of service and all the hard work that you've done in supporting the County Commissioners Association. So congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so I have a couple other things. There was another plaque that was given at CCAP, which I'm pretty excited about. This is it's the Brady Koch CCAP Award. This award is presented to a county official in recognition of their outstanding contributions to P Corp and the county's risk management program. P Corp board members, of course, are not allowed to participate. The award is named after a former Carbon County Commissioner and founding P Corp board member, Albert Brady Koch. So this year, out of all the counties in the state of Pennsylvania, the award was presented to me at the conference for the work that we do here in the county. And I accepted this award on behalf of everybody at the county because, you know, no person's an island. You can't do everything yourself. But because of the constant hard work that our group does, our safety committee, the work that they do, our HR department on getting people to go to classes and take things like defensive driving so they know how not to wreck a car, you know, to keep our claims down and, you know, to prevent the slips and falls with our maintenance department, all the hard work that they do and the upgrades to make us compliant so that we don't get sued. All those things together is what brings us forward. And again, this is an award that's an award for for all the county employees and the hard work that they do. So it was quite a surprise to get that, and we're quite honored to have that in our county.
Thank you. Do I see a tear?
No, you won't. Believe me. And I didn't cry when they shot Old Yeller either, so.
You'd be good.
Other updates, Act 77 changes to the election code. That was another topic that was brought up down there. I just wanted to go over and give a few highlights on that. The deadline for registration now is 15 days prior to the election rather than 30, so they've cut that timeline in half. So now a person can register up until 15 days before the election. These new deadlines, and all this takes effect on for the elections held on or after 4/28/2020, so it's the primary that's coming up. Note that the postmark dates are no longer relevant for timelines. A voter registration application must be received by the county by the 15th day deadline. So if they come in on the 14th day, even though they were have the postmark for before, they don't get included. They have to be here by the 15th day. Absentee and mail-in voting, big one in the state that's coming up. We've added the no excuse needed means for voters to vote by mail. They're calling it mail-in voting, and the timelines are for the process are similar to those for the absentee ballots. The primary difference is that the mail-in voters do not have to provide a reason for voting by mail-in. They can just say, I want to vote by mail-in, and they can do it. So if the voter qualifies for an absentee ballot, they must still continue to use the absentee ballots. Well, I think that's kind of a fallacy. I mean, if I'm going to be out of the state and I need an absentee ballot, what's the difference between that and saying, just give me the mail-in, I'll just do the mail-in? So I think they kind of overextended themselves there. Voters who wish to vote absentee by mail must still apply for a ballot, which may be done electronically through the Department of State. So you don't even have to call us or come in to get it. You can go online to the Department of State and request a mail-in ballot. Applications for the mail-in absentee ballots must be still received by the county no later than 5 p.m. on the Tuesday before the election. But the time frame for the ballot return has been extended. The deadline for the county to receive a mail-in ballot or a regular absentee ballot has been extended to 8 p.m. on election day. So that's a huge change. So actually, and just because it's mail-in doesn't mean that it has to go in the mailbox. If you've got a mail-in ballot, you can walk in here at 7 o'clock on election night with your mail-in ballot and say, here's my ballot. So an individual who receives the votes in a mail-in or absentee ballot that is timely received by the county may not vote at their polling place. So what happens is if you ask for an absentee ballot or a mail-in ballot, you'll be taken off the voter registration log for the polling precinct. So if you get a mail-in ballot and you say, well, I'm going to go down and vote at the precinct, you'll go there and they'll say, sorry, you're not qualified to vote here because you got a mail-in ballot. So that's trying to make sure people can't vote often in Susquehanna County. So they may, as it says, they still may deliver the ballot in person to the county elections office till 8 p.m. on election day. Or if they cannot do so, may vote by a provisional ballot at their polling place. So they can still vote provisional, but again, we'd have to, we have to get those back and look at those and take care of those. So counties are not authorized to begin processing mail-in or absentee ballots before more than 50 days before the election. Counties may await the result of a court proceeding that would affect the content of a ballot before mailing out the ballots. But in any case, counties must begin to send out mail-in ballots as soon as they are available and no later than the second Tuesday before election. I'll skip over some of the other stuff. Over the counter, we have to be qualified to do over the counter. Somebody walks in and says, I want to vote at the counter, we have to be set up to handle over the counter voting. So basically, this will become a precinct also. There's no straight party voting. Straight party voting is gone. So with the election coming in the primary, if you want to vote straight party, you're going to have to look for the R's and the D's and do it manually. You can't just check one box anymore. Poll workers' compensation, they talked a little bit about that. Okay, Act 77, so this talks about the $90 million bond fund the state is taking to pay for all the election equipment. So as you know, in our county, we were the first county in the state of Pennsylvania that went to the new machines. We did that over a year ago, and We started with one machine in each precinct to see how they would work and the polling machine. So we have to upgrade our polling pads. We only have one at each location. Under the new regulations, you have to have at least two, so we're gonna have to do some upgrades. And we're gonna have a conversation, talk about, new machines too, to take and replace just the straight paper ballot that we've been doing. And the whole purpose for that, like in this past election, there was over 600 votes for county commissioner that got thrown away because people voted for more than 2 county commissioners. As in the governor's race before that, I think there was, it was almost 1,500 to 2,000 that got thrown away for governor because people voted for more than one governor. So, listen, I don't know how you fix that on a paper ballot. It says vote for one or it says vote for two, but one thing that the machine does do is it stops the overvote. So if somebody tries to vote for more than one person, it won't let you do it. So, it'll just vote for the last person that you touch on the screen. So we have to look at the machines. We have to make a decision by December 31st and have it all in place by April of next year. If we do that, 60% of the cost will be refunded by the state of Pennsylvania. So it's in our best interest to look at it and do that instead of waiting and say, oh, okay, next year let's order something, and then we got to pay 100% for it. If we can get the state to pay for most of it, we want them to pay for it. Then they will, let's see what else, anything else on here. Just some different things on circulating nomination petitions. You don't have to live in the district you're circulating in anymore. And I believe there's also a thing on here for circulators. The circulators now need only complete a statement under the penalty of perjury for signature papers rather than getting the thing notarized. So if you're circulating a petition next year, you don't have to, if you're the circulator before, you'd have to get it notarized saying that you did it and you did it correctly. Now you don't have to, you just sign in a statement. So that's a change. And that's pretty much the synopsis of or the summary of the Act 77 changes. So it'll be interesting to see how things go. The idea is they expect with the mail-in that several things are going to happen. They figure it's going to take about 5 years for it to plateau out and balance out as to what's going to happen at the precincts. They think that initially their first gut reaction, it could be anywhere from 10 to 15% won't show up at the precincts that they'll do mail-in, but then they come back and said, but we may have another 10 or 15 or 20% people register to vote now because now they don't have to go to a polling precinct, and before they worked and they couldn't get to the polls, so they didn't vote. So now they may elect to get registered and vote because now they can just do it by mail-in. So it's I think it's a dartboard on the wall. We don't know what's going to happen at this point. So that's kind of what's going on with all of that. So with that, anybody got anything else? Yeah, Bill.
Got a question. Are you going to do away with all the paper ballots by the primary next
Well, that's
year?
a decision the commissioners will have to make. I mean, personally, I'm in favor of getting rid of the paper ballots. We still print out a paper ballot from the machine when the machine votes, when you vote. But the only time you'd get the paper ballot would be in a mail-in. And of course, we still run the risk with the mail-in that people are going to vote for 3 people for county commissioner instead of 2. And of course, everybody asks the question, well, if there's 3 commissioners, why can't we vote for 3? And I've asked that question and nobody can give me an answer. So,
I thought the state had mandated paper. I thought that was the whole paper.
no, you have to have a paper trail, which we do.
Paper
So
trail.
what happens is you use the machine, and as a lot of counties do, and what happens is when you hit execute or save, it'll print out the ballot. And then that ballot is what gets scanned and goes. And instead of having a paper ballot and marking it all and then scanning it, the machine creates the ballot.
I like that. I hated the paper ballot in Wyoming County.
Hmm?
In Wyoming County, I hated our paper ballots this year.
Yeah.
First year we had them.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's different machines, depends on which machine you buy as to how it's gonna work. There are machines that you have to have a regular paper ballot, and then you feed it into a scanner. Some of the ones we looked at, and, we did this 2 years ago, we did a complete study on the machines, and actually the one machine, the biggest problem we had was, you have paper ballots, but if the paper ballot gets torn on the corner, or if it gets mailed and it's folded, it doesn't go through the scanner, it's a huge problem. So the machines that we have, listen, you can dump coffee on them, walk on them, we'll crumple them up, straighten them back out, it'll read them without a problem. So, it all depends on the equipment that you have as to, how well it'll use. So, like I said, 2 years ago, we did a lot of research on it, had a lot of different people come in, present their stuff, and we know all the issues that we have. Oh, and the other thing too is the tab on the bottom of the ballots is gone now too. That was the other thing, remember this little tab on the bottom that gets ripped off, you get to keep. I guess somebody finally asked the question of what purpose and what good are these at? And so they finally answered the question, said absolutely none. So that's the problem. When they were trying to rip the tabs off, they'd rip the ballot a little bit, then it wouldn't scan through the machine and cause all kinds of problems. So that's one thing that they did do on the full paper ballot. Of course, in our area, if we use the machine, we don't have that problem because it prints the ballot out and then it goes through the scanner. So, anything else?
Oh, I just want to bring up that I want to congratulate the warden and his staff
Yes.
on 100% on their inspection, their 2019 inspection for under Title 37, which means that they get a buy for 2020 when you get 100%, which is a great thing. And there's no more, I remember in the past that getting ready for an inspection, that you heard about it for weeks prior to, and with Warden Shout, it's just, the jail just runs perfect, obviously. Every day, we don't have to prepare for it. So I want to congratulate him and his staff on that.
Yeah, that is a very big deal, and congratulations to all those people down there for an excellent job. So, yeah. Anything else?
What is your warden's name?
Mark Shout.
How do you spell the last name?
SHELP.
E-L-P, thank you.
All right,
Like to make a motion to close?
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are
Happy
closed.
Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Enjoy your holidays.
9:28.